Most people live their lives in a default setting, and that default setting is one of self doubt, overthinking, procrastination, and all of the other negative limiting beliefs. And the worst thing is that they don't even realize what programs are running in their mind without them knowing. And that is what happens when you see a person getting controlled by their lives, what they call destiny, and letting things happen to them instead of actually taking action and doing things themselves and taking charge of their lives. So, in this podcast, Ranks to Riches, we, myself, Tim Dwivedi, and my co-host Sarthak Singh, help you not to become one of these people. And that is why we always keep talking about escaping the matrix. This is Tim Dwivedi. Welcome to Ranks to Riches. I know it was a very serious, monotonous intro. However, the topic that I have for today is a serious, kind of boring one for most people out here. A quick disclaimer, this one would not be relevant to 95% of the people watching this right now in 2025. However, I want this podcast to be a record, a testament, or a prediction for myself in the future and those who come after me, who are in the journey in which I am, for them to watch it and realize that Tim Dwivedi was also on this spot. I will start with the quote of the day. From my side, this is the quote of the day. It's from the psychologist Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will dictate your life and you will call it fate. Sarthak, how was your week?
So, what an intro from Tim's side. What an intro, I must say. And what a quote of the week. Oh my god. But regarding my week, it's been such a good week and such a bad week. I don't know. I don't know what to classify it as. I cannot classify this week as good or bad because this week has been kinda lonely in the sense of the word lonely. Not unhappy lonely, but normal lonely. But also this week has been good in the sense that I got my quiz marks. Surprisingly, I'm still standing. I have decided not to take the jump yet, so which is fine. I just came from one of my papers showing I fucked the paper. It was really bad, but it's fine. The paper was bad. So considering everything and that I was really sick for 2 days of this week. This week has been ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, but it's fine. I have had a few times to reflect on a lot of things which Tim knows about. And yeah, that
Right.
which has been the highlight of the week. I attended an event. Oh my god, what an event! I must say, lovely event. I met one of the first members of a startup, now a good company, Pepper, B2B company, but amazing person he is. He gave me so many ideas, and yeah, what a week! This week has been properly marked with one of those weeks you say where you surprisingly do not much of the stuff, but you get a little push in life. So this has been one of those weeks. So Tim, how has your week been? What have you been up to?
Where should I begin? Lots of things, bro.
From the starting, I guess.
Yeah, so, okay, fair enough. I started waking up at 4 a.m. and sleeping up at 9:30. That
You
was
are
a big
not
one.
a man of culture anymore. You are not a man of culture anymore. Not a man of
Sarthak,
culture.
you would understand what the actual culture is once you start waking up. Like, I
Yeah,
can't
I
even say
can-
that in words.
Okay.
Next, doing some side projects, like kind of side projects, like apart from studies. Anyone who knows me a little bit closely, like Sarthak, they know that I can never ever have just college or just studies. I always have something on the side which I'm figuring stuff out. So I have this, and what an amazing partnership it has been. Like, I can't get into the specific details because mystery makes history. So, but however, I would give an overview. So, I'm working with this guy. He is very competent in his field. He's teaching me his stuff. I'm helping him with his daily tasks and all. Very, very overwhelming trying to manage it at college, but I'm learning so many things. Like, so many things. I it's so beautiful, man. Like, and I love it. Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving the grind. And like today I was feeling very low energy. I talked to him. He was like, you should do this in order to get your energy boosted in like 5 minutes, and without having anything external like coffee and all. I did that, and it was so fucking true. It was actually true. Sarthak, I did not want to stay awake. I was feeling like vomiting because of lack of sleep. But like when I did that exercise, I was like, yeah, let's fucking grind for 5 more hours. I'll teach you once we meet.
Damn. That's
okay.
Oh my god.
So yeah. So that was that.
So
Sarthak, if you don't have anything else, let's get right into it.
yeah, I do not have anything else, but what a week for you then. What a week, I must say.
As a friend, I should ask you, are you okay now? Considering the fact that you were ill for 2 weeks.
Not 2 weeks.
Sorry, 2 days. My bad. 2 days.
2 weeks would have been too much. My mother would have probably been here at that point, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So now I'm
shout
fine.
out to
I have
Auntie.
a bit of a cough. Yeah, shout out to my
Shout
mom.
out to Auntie. Such an OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Tim, let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into the podcast. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Guys, I want to tell you that we do not have this planned amongst ourselves most of the time. Like what I would say, Sarthak does not know, and most of the time what Sarthak would say, I do not know the exact things. But it is such a freaking coincidence or serendipity, you might call it, that Sarthak started the podcast with talking about loneliness. And this is my topic for today. I call it
What
the lonely
the fuck?
chapter.
Fuck no! That is.
Yes.
But the reason I'm sure is because I had absolutely no idea. I did not know what this guy's topic was. I was like, what was your topic? He did not tell me in the first half. So I was like, okay, this must be something good, mysterious. Let's dive right into it because we do not have much time. And then he's like, oh, what the fuck? This is coincidence. This is proper telepathic coincidence.
Yeah. Right. So, today you might feel that I am kind of not making that many jokes, not that cocky, not that interesting, like I'm not that energetic like I'm always, because honestly, these past few weeks have been hectic would not be the right word, tiring would not be the right word, a bit challenging, that would be the right word.
And
so,
Tim fucking Divedi loves fucking challenges, so
I appreciate that, bro.
If he says challenges, I know how challenging it would be. But anyways, I can understand. I am in a college, I know how fucking tiring some days are, some weeks are. So I'll bring the energy, he'll bring the content, and together we'll roll. Come on, Tim.
For sure, man, for sure. Okay, so as I said, the top, bro, I start speaking to Sarthak, I feel so much energetic, bro, what the heck. I want to remain serious, okay, cool. So, the lonely chapter. The exact terminology, the lonely chapter, it's not my own. It's from the GOAT, my Guruji, the person whom I quote in almost every podcast, Alex Hormozi. And he talks about the lonely chapter as a season in life, A season is where he talks that you live life in seasons. It's a period of 3 to 4 years, or I think 1 to 3 years, between you're saying no to a lot of things because you're completely focused on one thing. You're saying no to a lot of things, and in order to focus on that one thing that matters, to grow it, to build something, to actually hit your potential. So it is a season where you're too different from your current friends, but you're not successful or competent enough to reach the new group of friends who are higher than you. So it's that period of loneliness where it's like no one is clapping for you. It's just that one clap in a whole auditorium which is empty. It's just you clapping for yourself for the longest time. And guess what? This is actually the time when you need someone to root for you, someone to cheer you up, someone to say, no, I trust you, you can do this. But most of the time you don't have that person. So this is the lonely chapter. Although I have my friends here, they're great people, like absolutely amazing people, but I'm quite different from them. Apart, if you leave from the academics part, if you exclude the academics part, I'm very, very different from them. This is not to demean them or like show that they're inferior, but it's just I'm different. I think differently. This wiring in my head is a bit different from them. And the reason why being different is so unorthodox is because when you're like, as human beings, we are wired to do the things that most people are doing. Social proof is one of the biggest principles of influence, as mentioned in Robert Cialdini's book, The 7 Laws of Influence, the power of influence. So yeah, most of the time we're we're trained to do what all the other people are doing, but you're not doing that, and then you feel FOMO, you feel that you're too different. What are you doing? Are you even right, or they are right? And guess what? Many of the times they would be right, because in business, specifically the things that I do, business, most of the ventures failed. Like, except a few people like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, 99% of the entrepreneurs have 99% of their business has failed. But guess what? 99% is the failure rate, and the other people who suspect them and say that, yeah, you're not that good enough, they would be right 99% of the time, but they would be wrong on that one chance when it actually works out. So they would be 99% wrong, but they would be 99% right, but 100% wrong, because you only need to be right once. Sarthak, could you mute yourself? Okay, thanks, bro. Could you mute yourself, bro? Yeah, awesome. सार्थक भाई म्यूट कर लो यार जरा. हाँ. Okay, thank you. So, I was talking about them being 99% right but 100% wrong. And don't get me wrong, these people are not very negative. Like, they're not pushing you down. They're good people, and that's the worst thing, that they're good people. You want to be friends with them, but you can't because you're so focused on your damn fucking thing. And it might appear to them rude that you're not caring about them, you're not caring about their feelings, you're not showing up to their events, you're not showing up to their parties, you're not wishing them happy birthday because you are so freaking dialed in. And guess what? While recording this podcast, there are 4 people in my room. As soon as I said that, bro, I need to record a podcast, they're so freaking good, all of them went out. They say, especially my roommate, he said like, bro, I'll study outside. How can I repay him back? I can't, because I'm so fucking focused on the thing that I'm doing. This lonely chapter, I feel that I'm going through it right now. So, let me tell you what actually happens when you're going through lonely chapter. The reason I'm making this podcast episode is because everyone else who's going through the lonely chapter, not right now, but probably in the future, because if you are doing something unconventional, you would have to go through this chapter. When you're going through that, I hope somehow this video finds you and you resonate with what I'm trying to say. And also, this is my message on the 12th of September 2025, Tim Devedi, to the future Tim Devedi 5 years later, who has all the things that this guy wants. And I'm saying that I know it will work out. Yes, like I am here, but I know it will work out. So let me tell you what actually happens when you're in the lonely chapter. First of all, self-doubt. Like, this is so big. You second guess almost all of your decisions because many of them are wrong. And you're not following the herd, so you have to figure out your own way many a times. And a lot of the times there's no one to help you. Luckily, in my case, that's not the case. But yeah, many a times there's no one to help you. So you don't, and most of the times parents are not that agreeing to what you're doing. And you probably haven't told your parents, like I haven't. And so you doubt whether you are doing the right things or not. You're like, it is a limiting belief, but it does arise multiple times per day. And you just have to sit with it. You just have to, there is a delusional level of optimism that you want to have in order to conquer this. But there is something that is inside you which tells you that no, it's not just self-doubt. It's not doubt. It's not it is, there is self-doubt, but I have to do this. You just can't sit still. Next, you're waking up early in the morning and sleeping late at night. And you're doing all of this with the uncertainty if it will ever work out. And you would have anything to show for it. And guess what? There are no clappings. Nobody fucking cares if you're waking up at what time and sleeping late. And that is what I'm doing. I'm probably the only guy in my floor who sleeps at 9:30. Right? I just there are people they're doing stuff in the room. I just have my eye mask, earphones, white noise, and I will fucking go to sleep. Early mornings, late nights, where there is no appreciation, no positive reinforcement. You can't post that on social media. If you do, you're a fucking idiot. That you're showing people that how early you're waking up. The real people don't show their grind, at least that's what I believe. Friends, yeah. Your complete definition of friendship changes. It's so rude, bros. These people who are currently my classmates and my acquaintances and my currently friends, they're so good people. But I can't be friends with them. I can't hang out with them. I can't spend a lot of time with them. And it's so fucking bad. They're so good people. By heart, they're such a good nature. And it feels so rude. It feels so unfair. If someone had done that with me, I would have never talked to that person. But they're so freaking good people. They always keep talking to me. They remind me when there's an assignment due and I'm too dialed in to actually complete that shit. I'm not sure why it is sounding like a rant, but I guess I needed it to vent it out somewhere. Anyway. So the friend's definition goes to a person who increases the likelihood of you hitting your goals. But if you use that filter, many people are not your friends. I would be proud to say that Sarthak is my friend, that he increases the likelihood that I hit my goals. And many people who you thought were your friends are not your friends. An incident which happened minutes before we started the podcast confirms that. Next, you have to give up all the things that you like. I liked watching movies. I liked hanging out with friends. I like public speaking. I like interacting with people. I like going out, meeting new people. I even fucking liked rapping and stuff. And I am doing none of that. It's not to say that I'm very superior, very like godly, very pedestalizing myself. No, this might just not work out. That's what you think, and that could be the reality. But I don't want to think that because I'm delusional, fucking delusional. Delusionally optimistic, right? So you give up all that you liked, even like food, because you know that like this crappy food, junk food, this would hamper with the dopamine receptors in my brain, and then I would not be able to function properly, then I won't be able to work, I would feel lazy and stuff like that. And again, you do all of this not knowing if it would amount to anything. You could be proven wrong completely. The thing with the stuff that I am doing is that I am doing all of this with my college, which means that even though I always seem like I'm studying in the class while my friends are not, my classmates are not, but I might still get lower grades than them because I'm too focused on this, and this might also not result in something. That is the uncertainty. With the VIIEEE preparation, I was certain that this would get over in 5 months. Business is not certain. It would seem like you are getting ahead, but you might suffer a slow death. You might suffer a death and you might not even realize it. You might suffer a death which could go into a positive thing that could actually help you grab as much market share as possible. Welcome to business. And one of the great signs of someone who's grinding really hard is dark circles. I don't fucking know how Sarthak, he has like elite genetics, how he doesn't have them. This guy doesn't even sleep, but still he does not have them. But fair enough. But yeah, it does not mean that all people who have dark circles are grinding. Okay, so you have these things and you have to carry this with you. I take incredible care of my face, but I can't because I'm sleeping less, and that affects my skin quality and I fuck it up. Yeah. Next, people misunderstand you. Too big. This is a friend of mine. They were like contacting me, and they were like, this was one person. I'm calling them they because I don't want to give out who this person was. So they were contacting me, they were like talking to me, and Sarthak knows that back in the time I used to talk with like some good friends I had. I used to talk to them all the time. I did that with Sarthak as well. Sarthak, Hemang, you know, bro, shout out to Hemang. Talk to them all the time. But here, like with this person, I could not talk to them for a long time because I fucking have to work. And this is so bad because that person is investing all the time and energy, and I'm not reciprocating it, and that is so unfair on their part, right? So unfair on my part, but that is the price I have to pay. This statement, this is the price that I have to pay in order to become what I want to become. That is the thing that keeps me going all the time, because I realize that yeah, these sacrifices, this effort is the price that you have to pay, because everything in life has a price, nothing is free. So yeah, and you lose friends, you lose good friends. You can't have a girlfriend because that requires a good time commitment, and it's unfair if you don't give that. Like, at least I think that way. And unless you have Layla Hormozi, you can't have a girlfriend most of the time. And I would feel very unfair, I would feel very guilty if I get into a relationship and I'm not able to devote that amount of time which it requires, and I'm not able to maintain that. And that would be unfair on this person's side, right? So yeah, you can't have that. But you see that, but you still see that it's not even a light, it's like a blink, like a firefly at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel is so damn long, but you can see that firefly at the end, and that is what keeps you going. And that might just be an illusion, but it is what it is. You think that's right, you always convince yourself, no, that is actually a firefly, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Still keep going. And yeah, as I said, others are right, 99% right, 100% wrong. And everyone else is going and doing different stuff, cool stuff, like they're hanging out, like not even just in in like the fun part, but in also the opportunities they're doing. Like currently we're in a season in my college that we're having a lot of hackathons, lots of events, lots of clubs and stuff. I'm I have enrolled into a lot of them, but I'm not sure if I would be able to make it, like actually go into the events, because I am too invested in this thing. And now the trade-off that I'm making, I need to be aware that the opportunity cost of missing out on that thing is less than what I'm doing right now, which I currently believe in. That this thing, what I'm doing right now, would be improving me long term, always, and rather than compared to whatever these clubs and chapters or the events and hackathons would teach me. Although I might be wrong, always, like as an entrepreneur, you always have to be ready to be proven wrong. And this is also one of the Alex Hormozi classics. Like, you go into the lonely chapter, you don't know if you're doing the thing right, but you know that you're in the right way by identifying and isolating the hate that you get from the people along the way. And by hate, I do not mean a strong thing. It could just be a funny remark that, oh, Tim finally has to go to work again, right? Like one of my good friends, he used to, like good acquaintances and kind of a mentor, he used to hang out with his friends and he always used to leave early to work. So they made a joke out of him that, yeah, Rene has to go early. I revealed his name, but shout out to Rene. So yeah, Rene always has to go early. Like, they're not bad people, bro. They mean well, but they're not just aligned to my goals, and that is the worst thing, that they're not bad people. So yeah, the hate that you get along the way, and you have to undergo a complete identity shift. I had been the topper of my class in 11th and 12th, albeit Sarthak, okay, won't fuck around with that guy. So I had been the topper of my biology class till in class 11th and 12th, and I don't know if I will be the topper in here, and I am not, currently I am not. My results came out, I am not. And it sucks, because like destroying the image that you had for like 10-11 years, that sucks. Of course that sucks, but that is the price you have to pay. Either I take it on my ego, I was like, I have always been a topper, so I should be a topper, and I can be a topper. I am very 100% certain that I can be a topper here. But I choose not to do that, because I'm investing my energy on something else. And that would sound like a ridiculous freaking excuse to all my teachers, but that is the truth. The teachers wouldn't misunderstand me that, whoa, this guy is not studying, he's like, yeah, typical average student, stuff like that. And to an extent, they're doing that right now with me. But again, that is the price I choose to pay. So you get a lot of hate, you are misunderstood by a lot of people, but that is a proof that you're going the right way. At least that's what Alex Hormozi says. If he says that, I will believe it. That is the proof that you're going the right way. That is the, those landmarks which come around the road like Kanpur 100 kilometer. That is that. Next, uncertainty I've already talked about, because it is one, like Heisenberg. You get the point. I wanted to frame a really cool line regarding that Heisenberg and business are so freaking similar. They're both uncertain. So yeah, but I messed it up, so you get the point now. So uncertainty, big factor. That is what you have to deal with. You never know if it's going to be worth it, but again, one of Alex Hormozi's classics is that it's not the end goal or the money or the status or the thing that you will achieve. It's the person that you will become. And if you take the actions, this will lead to you becoming that person. All of this. Because even if you do not get the results which you want, you will still have developed the skills, the beliefs and the traits which that person who is capable of doing that has. capable of achieving the result has. So the end outcome is the person you become, not the external things. That's what everyone wants you to think, but when you don't have the external things, you feel deprived. Feel deprived, as Homozy again says that motivation comes from deprivation, and deprivation is psychological deprivation. Psychological deprivation is when you compare yourself to people who are so much better than you that you feel so psychologically deprived and you want to just freaking get to that level as soon as possible. If I compare myself to the people who are around me in this hostel, not to be rude to them or not to be mean to them, they're not on the path of self-improvement journey. Most of them, like 90% of them, scrolling reels, eating junk food, fucking around, studying a week before exams, getting decent marks, trailing through life. Typical knowledge life. But that is not the case with me. And nobody cares. That's the best part, bro. Nobody freaking cares if you're waking up at 4 a.m., you're grinding. Nobody cares. Nobody freaking cares. Nobody cares if you fail, if you lose, if you freaking sacrifice your sleep so much that you crash in the table in which you're working on and your project is delayed. Nobody freaking cares. Because that is the price that you have to pay. When I wake up every day at the 4 a.m. and I want to go back to sleep, I tell myself that the matrix does not freaking care. The matrix is coming for all of us, and it has come for all of us. It wants to keep us mediocre. It wants to have better employees, have better people who would serve it. But it does not care how sleep deprived I am, how much hungry I am, how much tired I am. It does not. It does not really care. He's outside. Sorry guys for the warden came for attendance. As you can see, the warden also does not care.
Hello.
If I'm recording a podcast, how great of a flow I am in, nobody freaking cares. As long as you don't have the results, nobody freaking cares. You know when everyone starts caring? When you actually achieve the thing. And that is the point when you need the caring the least, because you were not there when I needed you, so you don't have any importance when you are there when everyone is clapping for me.
हेलो.
हाँ हूँ अभी भाई हूँ. रुक जाओ, अभी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है.
हेलो.
हेलो हेलो हेलो, आवाज़ आ रही है? हेलो
हेलो.
हेलो. हाँ हेलो हेलो, आवाज़ आ रही है?
टीम. Oh, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
हाँ भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ, सही है. क्या हुआ? हेलो. See, the matrix doesn't care at all. एक बार rejoin करना. हेलो 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 हेलो. See, nobody freaking cares. The matrix doesn't care how much of a great flow I am in. It will send the warden, it will have the technical glitch, and that is the price I have to pay for recording this podcast, which might be something big someday. And when is that someday? When is that something? What is that something? We have no freaking clue, because business is uncertain. Can you hear me, Sarthak? Hello, 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 hello. हेलो 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 हेलो. क्या मेरी आवाज़ आपको परेशान कर रही है?
One eternity later.
Hello, hello.
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome, great. So yeah, lots of things, bro. Sarthak, when you edit it, you'll see how perfectly what I was saying, and then the warden came, then this technical glitch happened, how perfectly that is aligned. I said that the matrix doesn't care, no one cares if you're failing, and that is what happened. The matrix does not care how great of a flow I was in, what was the great rush of ideas in my head. The matrix does not care, the warden does not care, he just bars in and asks me for attendance, breaking my flow. But I choose to pay that price and I move ahead. So, a few more points, then I will ask for your opinion. Sound good?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Go ahead, Tim.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. So, uncertainty we have talked, and the best part is that around you, you can't talk about this to anyone, because they won't fucking understand. Yes, sir, they don't freaking understand because they're so busy watching reels and shorts and doing all of that bullshit. And they probably think that you are an outcast, you are stupid for doing all of this and not having studied. The system will punish you for doing this. Most of the times, they will punish you because nobody cares until you are successful. So you have to pave your own way most of the times. You can't talk to anyone because they won't understand. And if they don't understand, they'll most probably joke about you, ridicule you. And even if not very harsh things, they'll just not care. Like they'll just not support you, which you need support. You need it, but they won't support you. So, yeah, you guess in your immediate surroundings, there is no one who can help you. So that is why I have this person online who can help me, who supports me, and I am in this community of like-minded people who at least understand each other and keep each other accountable. And I will tell this story. That's why I'm making this episode, even though it does not provide a lot of value to people. I will tell this story someday, and that is why I'm recording this story. I will tell someday how I freaking ran for 1 kilometer today because I had an urgent meeting at 1:30. I had something deadline and I saw the message at 1:10. And I also had to eat lunch and come back before 2. Okay. A week ago, the same thing happened. I ran to my hostel from my class, ran and came back just to get a notebook which had my notes in order to edit something. Like edit a part of a project which I was doing in class with no internet. At the same time, as much as I want to talk bad about people that they're so different and I am so different and they're not supporting, as much as I would like to thank everyone who has helped me along in this journey, to the person who has brought printouts of my plan which I needed and I could not go 2 kilometers away, to the person who has brought printouts for me, to the person who has given me hotspot when I needed it, to the person who has given me money when my bank account wasn't working. So this is what I thank you guys for. The person who did not understand anything what I was doing, but they were still very supportive. They were like, yeah, you should do what you want. Why do you care about other people too? Or I thank them for sharing their opinions and perspectives, which even a little bit have inspired me and helped me. And how I started waking up at 4 a.m. This person, this person used to wake up quite early, and till I came to the hostel, I felt like I would again go back to sleep at 5-6 and then sleep till 7. But this person said that, yeah, I wake up at 5. I was like, fuck, if they can do it, I can do it as well. And that's what I did. And you feel, at this point I've already covered, that you feel dumber than everyone else because in spite of studying, appearing as if though you're studying, you're not getting a lot of marks. Like the guy who studies 1 day or 1 week before the exam gets more than you. What the fuck were you doing? That's what other people will ask you when you don't get as much as good grades. I don't want to say this, but when you don't get 9 CGPA, 9.5 CGPA, 9.9 CGPA, they're like, bro, you're always studying. What the heck are you doing? Now what will you answer to them? Because they won't understand. When they ask you, bro, what are you doing at 4 a.m. or what are you doing? Why are you so busy? You just have to give them wishy-washy answers. Yeah, bro, working on a side project. Yeah, bro, I was reading and analyzing a book. Yeah, bro, this is just a small course that I'm taking on coding and stuff like that. Yeah, bro, nothing major, bro. Just looking into some startups and stuff like that. Yeah, nothing major, bro. Just normal stuff. You have to give them that answers. Because if you tell them everybody your plan, that is the worst mistake that you could make. If you tell everybody your plans, they'll again start making fun. They'll find faults. They'll even demotivate you sometimes, and they'll start making jokes around it. You think you have the answer, but you don't know if you do. Then who are you fooling? You're fooling yourself, because that helps you. So you should fool yourself. And sometimes you feel like you have all the limiting beliefs combined together. Like, until I was working with this person, I was having overthinking, imposter syndrome, self doubt, perfectionism, overwhelmed, whatever limiting belief you can think of it. Slowly, as I'm able to understand and recognize these thought patterns, I'm trying to figure out where they came from, what triggers them, eventually trying to debug them and remove them out of my mental system. There is no validation, no clapping, just one faint clap for a long time. That, my friend, is how you know that you were in the lonely chapter. I can't tell you when it would end or if it would end, but I can tell you for sure that everyone who has done something significant in their lives has gone through the exact same period, and no one can become great without going through this period. So, you have to be that faint clap in the auditorium for a very long time, be delusionally optimistic, and just trust that if you keep doing this, you will eventually get what you want. That was it from my side. This is Tim Dwivedi. This was all from my side. Thank you.
Damn. Damn, I should clap for you for this.
Arey
I'll
bhai,
be the second
thank
clap
you.
in that auditorium. No, always. I'll always be the second clap in the auditorium.
Thanks.
And it will be
I
louder
appreciate
than the
my
faint clap you will have. Always.
Love you. Love you, bro. Love you.
Love you too, man. But damn.